The Horror Review. Halloween 4. The Return of Michael Myers. Halloween 4 is the name of an American horror film that was released in cinemas in the United States on the 21st of October, 1988. It was written by Alan B. McElroy, who also wrote for the Spawn series and the horror film Wrong Turn. Halloween 4 was directed by Dwight H. Little, whose other movies, including the Brandon Lee film Rapid Fire, Marked for Death, and Wesley Snipes' film Murder at 1600. Music for the film was provided by Alan Howarth, who also worked on the several Star Trek movies. Plot. After 10 years in a coma following the fateful events of the original Halloween and Halloween 2, Michael Myers instantly awakes when he learns of the existence of a living relative, a niece called Jamie. He immediately escapes from the hospital and heads to Haddonfield, intending to kill her and anyone else who gets in his way. But soon after, Dr. Loomis learns of his escape, and his psychiatrist-turned-nemesis is soon hot on his heels. Cast. The film stars Donald Pleasance as Dr. Loomis, reprising his role from the original Halloween and Halloween 2. Pleasance is a British acting legend whose appearances in numerous filmed and television series, including The Great Escape and the 1971 British horror film Deathline. The film marked the film debut of Danielle Harris as Jamie. She was just 10 years old when Halloween 4 was made. She appeared in this film's immediate sequel, Halloween 5, and went on to a number of TV series and movies, including Roseanne and The Last Boy Scout, and has become a horror icon, having continued to work in the genre as an adult in films such as Urban Legend, the Hatchet series, and Rob Zombie's Halloween remake and its immediate sequel. The film also stars Ellie Cornell, who made her film debut in Married to the Mob and who also appeared in the TV series Femme Fatales. Trivia. Halloween 3 had tried to turn the Halloween franchise into an anthology series, being a sci-fi supernatural chiller completely devoid of Michael Myers. But although the film had not been unsuccessful, fan backlash was such that executive producer Mustafa Akkad decided that the next film in the series would have to bring back the iconic masked maniac. Halloween 4 was nominated for Best Horror Film and Best Writing for Alan B. McElroy in the 1990 Saturn Awards. It was released on VHS in 1989 and on DVD in 2006 and hit Blu-ray in 2012. Reaction. Although the film received the usual critical drubbing from horror-hating mainstream critics, it was a big hit at the box office in the US, hitting number 1 and staying there for a second week, and grossing $17 million in its home country. Despite the unfavourable reception from the boring mainstream critics of the time, Halloween 4 has come to be much more warmly regarded by horror fans and remains a fan favourite to this day, being widely regarded as one of the best of the sequels and a superior horror film in its own right. What I think. I love Halloween 4. I first saw Halloween 4, I think it would have been about 1993 or 1994. It was around the time when I was just getting old enough to actually start renting R-rated horror movies by myself. And it was certainly one of the ones that I picked up first, along with Black Christmas. I rented Halloween 4 and Halloween 5 together, and I seem to recall that I watched them both on the same day. I loved them both at the time, though with hindsight I can see that 4 is superior to 5, though I still think 5 is underrated and quite like it myself. Halloween 4 is very much in the spirit of the original. It follows the same kind of beats, and yet it isn't just a repeat. It amps up the horror and amps up a lot of the set pieces, making it more than just a replay of the original. Donald Pleasance is as wonderful as usual. The fact that he's a bit more haggard and he's got scars, fire scars as a result of the end of Halloween 2, makes him. He's very much becoming, as I said earlier, he's very much becoming the dogged Van Helsing character to Michael Myers at this point. Uh, Danielle Harris is great as Jamie. I think I had already seen her in Roseanne at the time. I don't think I'd seen any of the Halloween sequels when I first saw this. I may have seen 3, but I don't think I'd seen Halloween 2 or any of the others when I saw Halloween 4. And I have to say, Ellie Cornell as Rachel, she's really good in the role. And although we have kind of latterly, ever since H2O really, we've kind of latterly what's the word, reimagined Jamie Lee Curtis's Laurie Strode as the tough heroine of the series. That's not really true. If you look at the first 2 movies, especially Halloween 2, she's primarily the victim. The hero of the first few movies is really Donald Pleasance as Dr. Loomis. Now, in Halloween 4, I have to say, although Dr. Loomis is still the heroic figure, Rachel is really the strongest female lead to this point, I would say. She's incredibly brave. She's incredibly tough. And I mean, she really puts herself on the line. And the fact that she's putting herself on the line not to save herself, because in reality she probably could have just got the hell out of there and Myers wouldn't have given a crap. She puts herself on the line for Jamie. She's a kind of adopted foster sister, and she becomes Jamie's primary protector in this movie against Myers. And she's a really strong, really tough heroine. I actually kind of like Rachel more than Laurie. Honestly, she's certainly much stronger as a female character. Overall, the film is really well directed. It's really well scored. It's really atmospheric. It's got some wonderful set pieces. I mean, the entire kind of set piece in the house, the supposedly boarded up and guarded house, and of course Myers gets in anyway and makes short work of any police that are supposedly there to guard Jamie. That's a fantastic sequence. It's a really scary movie. It's a really fun movie. And of course, it's got that great kind of what the fuck twist ending, which they completely walked back the next time. Some people are disappointed by that. I can see why they walked it back, but it's still a great kind of shock ending. I think Halloween 4 is great. It's one of my favourite movies, one of my favourite horror movies, certainly. And I give it a straight A.